me like a Hellcat.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Before this video starts, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In this video, we're going to be going over my 2021 deck collection. Not going to talk too much. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay everybody, so let's go ahead and dive right into this. So I'm going to start off with these three. These are the red, blue, and black Bicycle Standard. I'm not really going to take these out of the box because I'm sure all of you know exactly what these cards look like. Everyone, even if you're not a magician, probably owns a deck of either red, blue, or black. So yeah, let's go ahead and just move on here. So next up, over here in the collection, we have the Bicycle Tally Hose. So these aren't technically, they're by Bicycle, but they're not technically Bicycle cards. These are their own brand, I believe, for Tally Hose. I use these quite often. These are probably the cards I use the most of any cards. I practice with these all the time, perform with these all the time. I use them a lot in my videos as well. Probably one of my favorite decks that I own. I love these cards. For whatever reason, they're just, I love them. And, but yeah, those are the circle back. Great for Magic because, as you guys can see, they have perfectly standard pips, and the back design is just a very normal looking back design. No spectator is going to question this. But yeah, those are the Tally Hose. So next up over here, we have the Black Tiger playing cards. These are some of the first customized cards I believe Bicycle ever came out with. So I'm sure for a lot of magicians who've been collecting cards a lot longer than I have, this is probably a very nostalgic deck. But yeah, not gonna spend too much time on this, but I do like the faces, black faces. As you can see, the black pips are customized to white now, and very similar to the reverse back playing cards, if you've ever heard of those. But as you guys can see, it's just pretty much reverse back playing cards. So yeah, those are the Black Tiger. Hope you guys enjoyed these. Definitely recommend picking these up. You will not regret it. Next up over here, we have the Guardians playing cards. So another one of the first customized decks I believe Bicycle came out with. And one of the first customized decks I ever picked up outside of Bicycle Standard. So I definitely do like this deck. It's definitely a little worn out. I've used this deck a lot. But it's still in decent condition, so I sometimes still do use it in some of my videos, but I don't use it a whole lot. Very thick borders, which kind of looks a little weird whenever you fan them out. And these cards are kind of difficult to fan anyway because they are pretty old. But yeah, those are the Bicycle Guardians playing cards. Next up over here, we have the Bicycle Ice playing cards. These are some of my favorite Bicycle cards. I love the way they look. I believe this is part of Bicycle's Elemental series, which I believe there's all kinds of different elements, but I think Ice is definitely my favorite. As you guys can see, the face cards are absolutely beautiful, and so is the back design itself. Also comes with a double backer, which is handy in card Magic. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Bicycle Ice playing cards. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next one over here, which are the Bicycle Amplified playing cards. Another one of my favorite Bicycle decks. I picked these up not too long ago, and I just love the way this deck looks. I love the way the colors are, and I definitely love the court cards. The court cards are my favorite thing about this deck, as you guys can see. It's got this different color scheme than a normal Bicycle deck would, and just the cards themselves look absolutely beautiful, as well as the back design. I love decks that have like a circle in the middle for whatever reason. I don't know why, I really like those. And it comes with a double backer. Makes this deck great for Magic. Only problem I have with it is a one-way design, which I'm not usually a huge fan of, but I make an exception in this case. I really do like this deck. So next up, I'll pull these out at the same time as well. We have the Bicycle Stargazers. These are the original ones, and then we have the Bicycle Stargazer Sunspots. There's also all kinds of different Stargazers. There's New Moon. There's all kinds of different ones, but these are the ones I own. These are the original Stargazers, as you guys can see. They look great whenever you fan them out, just like that. And as well as these ones. I'm not really going to pull these out of the box, but as you guys can see, it has this circle in the middle, which again I say I like, and it has pretty much the same design as the original Stargazers. But yeah, I love the way this deck looks. I love the way both of these look. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And these are much more decks for much more for cardistry rather than Magic. But yeah, definitely recommend picking these up if you are a collector like me. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on over here. So next up, we have the Bicycle Fireflies playing cards. This is a deck I got for Christmas a few years ago, and I love it. A beautiful back design. As you guys can see, comes with a double backer, and yeah, and the face cards are actually really nice. I like how it has that chrome-looking border around the pips. I think that's very nice. And the faces look great whenever you fan them out, as you guys can see. So yeah, beautiful deck of cards. Definitely recommend picking these up for yourself. These are the Bicycle Fireflies. So let's go ahead and move on to the next deck over here, which are the Bicycle Fallback Crimson. So these look like a standard deck of red Bicycle playing cards, except these cards are very shiny. As you guys can see, the backs of the cards are actually very shiny. And you'd think that the Fallback would mess with the handling, but these cards still handle quite amazing, as you guys can see. I love these. I actually do practice with these a lot as well. The handling is amazing, as you guys can see. Just the cards handle magnificent. So definitely recommend picking up a deck. This is an absolutely beautiful deck for Magic and cardistry alike. Okay, so next up over here, we have probably my least favorite deck of playing cards. These are the Bicycle Aurora playing cards. Ironically, my girlfriend is named Aurora, but I hate the cards they named after her in this case. So, comes with a double backer, which in my mind is completely pointless. And, I do not like the faces at all. I don't like how they have borders around them. And the back design is ugly, in my opinion. I do not like these cards at all. Don't waste your money on it. I'm just kidding. If you guys like these cards, pick them up by all means. I won't judge you. Next up over here, we have another one of my favorite Bicycle decks, the Bicycle Capital playing cards. Has a White House and a C around it on the back. So this is a deck dedicated to the White House in Washington, D.C. And then I think the pips are my favorite part about this deck. I love the way the pips have been customized. They have like a smaller font, but the pips are very bold. So yeah, really cool about that deck. And if you guys want a deck review, my buddy, the Cardmaster X, actually did a deck review on this deck. So I'll leave a link down in the description if you guys want to check that out. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on with the next deck over here. Okay, so another American deck over here. We have the Bicycle American Flag playing cards. This is a deck I was actually using in the bathroom. I wasn't using them in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom practicing a sleight in the mirror, and I actually dropped a few of them in my bathroom sinks. Now, if you guys can look at the edges a little closer here, some of them have a little bit of water damage, but that hasn't really messed with the handling. Thankfully, this deck is made to look a little aged, so if anything, it kind of makes it a little more realistic looking, I guess you could say. So I love the way these cards handle very nice, and I love the way they look. Definitely an American deck, and as an American, I definitely love these cards. And as you guys can see, the pips each have stars on them, so that's pretty cool. Just a beautiful deck of cards, in my opinion. Definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Bicycle American Flag playing cards. If I can put them back in the box here, we will move on to to the next one. Excuse me. So next up, we have the Bicycle Autobikes playing cards. This deck is it's old. It's very old. I use these a lot, and whenever I try to spring them like that, it just feels like they're falling apart, if that makes any sense. These cards are just very old. As far as fanning and spreading and stuff like that, they still handle pretty well. As you guys can see, I can spread them out. They look very nice when spreading out. But when it comes to things like springing the cards and dribbling and stuff like that, these cards just feel like they're falling apart in your hand. So yeah, I just use these cards a lot. There's also the blue Autobikes. So if you guys are interested in these cards, definitely recommend checking them out. I actually love these. When I first got them, these were the cards I used all the time. I practiced, I performed, I just did a lot of things with these cards. But now they just feel super old whenever I try to handle them, so I don't really use them very much anymore. So yeah, those are the Bicycle Autobikes playing cards. So next up over here, we have the Bicycle Dragon playing cards. Not going to spend too much time on these. They're just this dragon with the dragon facing both ways. They're blue, and then the court cards look like this, and I think the court cards are actually my favorite part about this deck. It's just pretty much standard pips for the most part, except some slight customization. They're a little bit bolder, if you guys can see that, and again, the court cards have some color customization to them. And yeah, it's a blue border, white face, so that can kind of hurt you in Magic a little bit. As you guys can see, you can kind of see that white card right there. But other than that, this is just a very nice deck, so if you guys want to check this deck out, by all means, pick it up. So yeah, those are the Dragon playing cards. So next up over here, we have the Archangel playing cards. This is another deck, I believe. I got these and the Guardians together. So this is actually another one of the first decks I got outside of Bicycle Standard. Just a beautiful deck of cards. It's very simplistic. Again, this one's kind of old, so it don't handle super well anymore. But as you guys can see, it still handles decent. That fan was pretty decent. And the cards themselves are pretty much standard face for standard face for the most part. The court cards have a little bit of customization, and it just has this very simplistic looking back design to it. So it makes this great deck for Magic. This used to be the deck I would take around with me whenever I wanted to do Magic tricks for friends or something like that. But yeah, Bicycle Archangels playing cards. Very old deck I have, but at the same time I just love it. So next up over here, we have the Bicycle Vintage playing cards. It's just made to look like an old-timey deck from like the medieval times or whatever, and I think they did a great job with the aging effect to it. Just a great deck of cards. I'm not a huge... I think the creativity in it and the idea is a clever idea, but as far as the way the deck looks, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But if you guys like it, definitely recommend picking it up. As you guys can see, they're all made to look like old-fashioned playing cards. So yeah, those are the Bicycle Vintage playing cards. Actually, one thing I will say about this deck is it handles very, very well. I have to give it to that. This is a very good handling deck. So if you guys are interested in the way this deck looks, by all means pick it up. But yeah, I've had this deck quite a while as well. Okay, last bicycle deck, and we'll be moving on to different brands. So we have the Bicycle Architectural Wonders of the World deck. The back design, I'm not a huge fan of the back design, but the back design is not what makes this deck unique. What makes this deck unique is, I believe I have it upside down actually. Each card has a landmark on it. So this one is the Century Building, all kinds of different, like that's the Capitol Building, Eiffel Tower, just all kinds of different landmarks on these cards. So each and every card is a different landmark, and it's not great for cardistry or Magic, but you have to appreciate the art that went into this deck. Again, not a huge fan of the back design, as you guys can see, it's not great, but the face cards are what make this deck very unique and special. So yeah, if you guys like this deck, it's called the Architectural Wonders of the World deck. Definitely recommend picking this up if you're just a collector. This is a good collector's deck. Okay, so now we're getting into a different brand, Theory 11 territory now. So we're going to go ahead and start off with these. We have the black and the white artisans. The white artisans are a little older because I've had them a little bit longer, but the white artisans are actually in very good condition. As you guys can see, they handle absolutely amazing. The fan, I just love the way these cards look, and they handle very, very well. And this is usually my go-to deck when I need a deck with a double backer. If I'm ever performing a trick for someone that needs a double backer, this is usually the deck I use. And I just love the way these cards look. They have a very professional looking back design, and at the same time, the faces are just perfectly bicycle standard. I think maybe just a darker shade of red, but that's about it when it comes down to the faces. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the artisans. You got the white ones here, as well as the black artisans. I think I prefer the white artisans over the black ones, mainly just because I like the way the color design works, but at the same time, both are great decks of cards, so definitely recommend picking these up for yourself. So next up over here, we have a very old deck of Theory 11 playing cards. These are the Ivory Tycoons. There's also blue Tycoons, red Tycoons. I don't know how many different colors there are. But I've had these cards a very long time. As you can see, they're a little clumpy. I don't know how well they're going to fan. They fan decent. Okay, but they're old. These cards are just very, very old. I don't use these very much because they're very sticky. They're very clumpy. Only reason they're handling decent now is because I just took them out of the box. So they're going to be a little decent. But these cards are just very, very old and very sticky, and just I don't really use them very much anymore, but I love the way they look, to be completely honest. I love the way the court cards look. Just everything about this deck is beautiful, but they don't handle very well anymore, so I don't use them very much anymore. I might actually try and pick up a new deck of these because I just love the way these cards look. So next up is another old Theory 11 deck. These are the Union playing cards. Haven't used these in a very long time. As you guys can see, I can try and fan them out and see if these are any better. Again, I just pulled these out of the box, so the cards are going to look like they handle okay, when in reality, if you guys were to play with these for like 5 minutes, the card would start to feel very clumpy. And that is definitely the case with these. They look like they're handling fine right now, but they won't in a little while later, trust me. I love the back design, though. Even though these cards are old, I still love this deck. I love the back design. It's another American deck. And I think the faces are probably my favorite part about this deck. I love the customization they put into them, and I love the court cards. As you guys can see, the court cards look very different than a normal standard deck of playing cards, and I just love everything about this deck. I love the way it looks and feels. And ironically, the day I got this deck was the first day I actually shot a turkey when I was turkey hunting one day, and ironically, these came in the mail that same day, and they had turkey jokers. I always thought that was really cool for whatever reason, but yeah. So those are the Union playing cards by Theory 11, so definitely recommend picking up these cards. So next up, we have the Hudson playing cards. So this is a deck I'm not a huge fan of the back design. I feel like the back design has a lot of missing potential. I feel like it could have more to it. But the way this deck handles is what makes me actually really like this deck. This deck handles amazingly. And I use this a lot for whenever performing, and I don't think I've used it in a video yet, but I do plan to eventually. And just the way this deck feels is absolutely amazing. It feels great in the hands. The handling is magnificent. And the cards themselves, again, it has standard faces, so this is a good deck for Magic, but the back design is just the one thing I don't really like about it. But the cards handle amazing, so I do actually use these a lot, only because I love the way this deck feels. So definitely recommend picking up a deck of Hudson playing cards. It also comes in like a light blue color, I think. I don't know how many other colors it comes in, but I think it definitely comes in a light blue color. I know that. And if it comes in any different colors, I'm not quite sure. Just let me know down in the comments below if you guys know or not. Okay, so next up we have the High Victorian playing cards. This is probably one of my least favorite Theory 11 decks, mainly because I'm not a huge fan of the handling, I'm not a huge fan of the back design, and I'm not a huge fan of the court cards. The court cards are actually my least favorite thing about this deck. I do not like the way that, I don't like how they don't have faces. I'm not a huge fan of the way this deck looks at all, or the back design, and the handling has never been that great on these cards, to be completely honest. Just probably my least favorite deck. I'm not saying it's a bad deck, it's just not a huge fan of the back design. Definitely not a huge fan of the court cards. The face cards are okay themselves, like the number cards and stuff like that. As you guys can see, they actually look pretty cool. But just not a huge fan of the court cards, and not a huge fan of the back design. But yeah, there's also the green Victorians, the green high Victorians. I got the red ones just because red is my favorite color, but there are also green ones. If you guys are actually interested in this deck, you guys can check these out. I don't care. But next up, we have the Animal Kingdom playing cards. This is a deck I wasn't actually going to pick up, but I actually ended up picking up anyway. And I'm happy I did, because I do actually like the way this deck looks. It has this nice orange color, and each pip has a, or each court card has a different animal on it, because this is the Animal Kingdom deck. So I'm trying to find another court card here. If I can, we have, again, you guys can see a frog, just all kinds of different animals and stuff like that. So yeah, I love the way this deck feels in the hands. It's a great handling deck, and I just like, it's supposed to look like an old jungle deck. So as you guys can see, the borders are very rough edged. It's not a straight edge border, and as well as the court cards, they are just a little, they're made to look a little rough. I just love the way this deck looks. The art that went into this deck is actually something to be respected. So definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Animal Kingdom playing cards. Okay, so next up over here we have the Contraband playing cards by Theory 11. Another great deck. I think this has probably one of the coolest back designs I've ever seen. It's just a really nice back design. I love the way this deck looks and the way it feels. It feels great in the hands. And I love the court cards of this deck. I love the court cards. It looks like they were sketched on there, and then just the font they use for the each and every face card just looks amazing. And I just love the way this deck looks. The only thing I don't really like about this deck are the Jokers. I'm not a huge fan that they don't have a borderless Joker. Not a huge fan. It does come with a double backer, which comes in handy in Magic. But yeah, I do like this deck a lot. Only problem I really have with it are the Jokers. But at the same time, this deck just feels amazing, handles amazing. I love the way it looks, so definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Contraband playing cards. Whew, let me get a minute, catch my breath over here. So next up, we have the Product Red playing cards. These are probably my favorite deck by my favorite cards by Theory 11. It's a very simplistic. I'm a huge fan of simplistic back design. So just it's a solid red color, and I don't know why I love that so much. For one, red is my favorite color, but this also handles very well. So I love the way it looks. I love the way it handles. And the cards themselves are pretty much bicycle standard. So this is a great deck to go perform Magic with, because it's just a super simplistic deck. Handles great. I love the way this deck feels in the hands. And it also does donate to mothers with HIV or AIDS or anything like that, so they don't pass it down to the young. So whenever you do purchase this deck, you are helping someone in need. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Product Red playing cards. I love this deck. Okay, so next up, I'll go ahead and pull these out at the same time. We have the red and the blue Star Wars playing cards. These are the light side, these are the dark side. The only major difference is the color of this deck. So let me go ahead and pull these out so I guys can just show you guys the minor differences here. So obviously at first glance you're going, oh, the colors are different. Well, if you look a little closely, this one has a Death Star, this one has a droid, this one has all the villain symbols, this has all the good guy symbols. So just different little small things like that, because this is the light side deck and this is the dark side deck. All the court cards are actually exactly identical, so every single court card you see looks exactly like the court cards and the face cards on this deck. But yeah, these are the dark side edition, and then these are the light side edition. They also have black and white, I do believe, which obviously black being dark side, white being light side of the Force or whatever in Star Wars. So yeah, I actually do want to try and pick those up. They do look really cool. But yeah, those are the Star Wars playing cards, the reds and the blues. Definitely recommend picking those up. So next up over here, these are the last of my Theory 11 decks. The red and the blue Monarchs. I love the Monarchs. They are probably some of my favorite cards that Theory 11 has come up with. I love the way they look. They're super iconic. Everyone knows what the Monarchs are, so I'm not really going to spend too much time on them. So yeah, those are the blue ones. I'm sure all of you guys have seen the Monarchs before, and then these are the red ones. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Monarchs by Theory 11. Okay, so next up, we have a casino deck here. This is just a casino deck from somewhere in Las Vegas, and as you guys can see, it's actually a cut deck. So they cut the corners, so these cards cannot be used in casinos anymore, which, you know, it makes it where you can't really use these for Magic or cardistry. But at the same time, as a collector, I think this is actually pretty cool just to have a used casino deck in my possession. These are pretty cheap. I'm not saying it's like super rare. You can find these in literally, I believe I found this in a dollar store. So yeah, these are not hard to find at all, and they're super cheap. So if you guys just want a cool deck to add to your collection, just check out your local Dollar Tree. Okay, next up is a casino deck that's a little closer to me. This is the deck I found in my grandmother's closet, and it's actually a blue sealed Beak deck, so it still handles quite well, even though it's probably like 2 decades old. And the cards themselves just handle very well. Again, I'm not certain on the age, but it's probably somewhere around there, and with it being blue sealed. And the cards themselves just handle absolutely great. Definitely recommend. Well, you can't really pick these up probably. You could probably find these on eBay somewhere maybe. If I can actually find these on eBay or some website, I might try and leave a link down in the description where you can pick up blue sealed of these B casino playing cards. Okay, next up we have the Squeezer V2s by Organic Playing Cards. So these are made to, the box is made to look like a lemon juice box, which is pretty cool. I'm going to let you guys pause the video and read the nutrition facts on this deck. But as you guys can see, all the red cards have been recolored to yellow, and each individual court card is interacting with a lemon in some different way or form. So yeah, just a beautiful deck of cards and a super simplistic back design, just 2 lemons on the top and bottom, and then with this teal background. So that's actually really cool. I do actually like the way this deck looks. I've used these a lot, so they don't handle super well anymore, and that was a horrible shuffle. I guess a testament to the fact they don't handle very well anymore. But I do like the way these cards look, and I'm a huge fan of any of the Squeezers. There's also the Squeezer V1s, which are orange edition, and then the V3s, which are grapefruit, I do believe. So definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Squeezers. I think these are actually sold out, and I think any of the Squeezers are sold out. So if you guys somehow manage to get your hands on them, that'd be pretty cool. Okay, next up we have the Secret Service playing cards by Riffle Shuffle. When I first saw these on Riffle Shuffle's Instagram page, I really wanted them, and I eventually did get them using some Christmas money. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan of the way this deck handles and looks. Each individual face card, or court card might I say, is like 3D animated, and they're all doing something a Secret Angel would do. So he's working like some recording station, she's holding a gun, she's holding like a, I don't know, some kind of anesthesia shot or whatever, I don't really know, whatever Secret Service people do. It also comes with this ID badge, which I think is very creative. You can write your name on there, you can use that as a prediction, whatever you guys want to do with it. And again, just the way the back design looks, I'm a huge fan of. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Secret Service playing cards by Riffle Shuffle. Next up, we have the Sirius B V3 playing cards, again by Riffle Shuffle. I actually did a deck review on this, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because I have done a deck review on it. So if you guys want to see that, link will be down in the description to see my deck review on these cards. But I'm just going to kind of show you guys, that's what the back design looks like, and these are what the faces look like. And one thing I forgot to mention in the deck review that I didn't actually know when I did the deck reviews, it comes with a duplicate Queen of Hearts, which you guys can use in a lot of different magic tricks. But yeah, much more of a cardistry deck in my opinion, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because again, I have done a deck review on it before. Next deck, we are going to be looking at the Summer Knox by Alex Pandrea. Alex Pandrea is known to make these very simplistic looking cards. I used to have a deck of Red Knox, but they did get some water damage thanks to some siblings, so unfortunately I don't have those anymore, so I got these to replace it. These are the Summer Knox, which are pretty much just a basic orange color and standard pips. And as most of Alex Pandrea's decks come with a duplicate Queen of Hearts and a blank card, which you guys can use to your advantage when doing magic tricks. But yeah, deck handles great. I believe the Jokers are pineapple to go along with summer. There are also the blue Summer Knox, which are like a light blue color. But yeah, these are pretty much just standard Knox, except they are summer edition. So great to use during the summertime. So next up, we have a deck I got for Christmas that I really, really wanted when I saw them on Instagram. These are the Game Over playing cards by Gemiini decks. So as you guys can see, they say Game Over on the top and the bottom. And then the cards, the face cards are very pixelated. Let me get a little closer so you guys can see. All the face cards are like this cool pixelated, and all the court cards are doing something video game related. You guys can see the King of Spades here has some VR goggles on. I just love the way this deck looks. I can fan it out and show you guys. Looks very nice when fanned out. And it comes with a cool reveal card, so it's actually looks kind of like the Joker. As you guys can see, the Joker says Game Over, and then a reveal card that has a 3 of diamonds on it. So you guys can force a 3 of diamonds and do some cool reveal trick if you guys want to do that. But yeah, very, very cool deck of cards. I love the way this deck looks. Got it for Christmas, and the box looks like an old school Game Boy. So yeah, really cool deck. Definitely recommend checking it out. Great for cardistry, not so much for Magic, but that reveal card does. I have used that on someone before. It really is a good way to freak someone out. Okay, so next up we have the Red Wheels by Art of Play. These were designed by Dan and Dave. So this deck is just very, very nice looking. It's a one-way design, hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. And I love the way, the back design is very nice, but as you guys can see, the face cards are probably my favorite thing about it. As you can see, it's half gold, half red, half black, half gold, and just the way the faces look is absolutely beautiful. I love the way these cards look. And then you get these two jokers, which are like these skulls. As you guys can see, one's metallic ink, one isn't, and then it comes with this pretty cool wild card. So if you lose a card, like the 2 of spades, for example, you can circle the 2 and then circle the spade, and then boom, you have a brand new 2 of spades. So I always thought that was pretty cool with this deck. But yeah, those are the red wheels. There's also blue wheels. There's also green wheels, black wheels. There's all kinds of different colors. But yeah, these are the, I believe these are the original. These are the red wheels. So yeah, definitely recommend picking these up. So next up over here, we have the purple Cherry Casinos. There's all kinds of different colors of the Cherry Casinos, but these are the purple ones. I think I got these mainly because they were the cheapest. But yeah, we have a double backer, we have a blank card, and then you get your 2 Cherry Jokers. What's really cool about this deck is it has that stripe, so it looks great whenever doing things like a fan, just like that. And then it has this very standard looking faces and back design, so it makes it perfect for Magic and cardistry at the same time. And it kind of reminds me of Coca-Cola, the way that stripe goes down. I don't know why. But yeah, I love the way this deck looks. When you first get it, you have to break into it a little bit for this deck to handle good. But once it handles good, once you break into it, it handles very, very well. And it's made to look like a standard casino deck, even though it's actually a deck made for magicians. So it's a great deck of cards. These are the Cherry Casinos. Definitely recommend picking these up. I do want to get more colors of the Cherry Casinos. So next up over here, we have the Orbit V7s. So there's all, again, these are the V7s. So this is the most recent to come out. This is the 7th edition. There's also, you know, the V1s, V2s, V3s, V4s, all that. And I actually want to try and get the V1s one day, but they're probably stupid expensive on eBay right now. So I might try and get them one day, but for right now, I'm going to have to live without them. But I love the way this deck looks. Again, it has that circle, which I said I'm a huge fan of decks with a circle in the middle. So this deck actually handles very well, and it's great for spin flourishes and stuff like that. It comes with a duplicate 8 of spades, a double backer, and 2 jokers. So one thing I didn't know about this deck when I first got it was that it's actually marked. So if I just cut the deck here, this is the 2 of spades, just like that. As you guys can see, I can cut it again. It's a super simple marking system to read. This is the Jack of Clubs, as you guys can see. Super easy to read, unlike other different decks that have some weird code you gotta try and crack. But this is just a super simple marking system to read. So definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Orbit V7s. As you guys can see, these are what the court cards look like. So yeah, definitely recommend picking up a deck of the V7s. Okay, so next up over here we have the Madison Rounders by Illusionist. These were designed by Daniel Madison. That's why they're called the Madison Rounders. And super simplistic back design. They're just black with, I believe that is Daniel Madison's logo. I could be wrong though. It comes with a double backer, and it comes with 2 jokers. So very nice. You know how Daniel Madison is, he likes to involve ravens usually in his deck somewhere. And just the cards have a very simplistic, normal, standard looking faces, and then the cards themselves are very simplistic as well. So it makes for a great deck for Magic. Cards handle super, super well, and as you guys can see, so definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Madison Rounders. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to the final deck in my collection. These are the Knights playing cards by Illusionist. This was a collab between Daniel Madison and Chris Ramsey. And Chris Ramsey is one of my favorite YouTube magicians, so I really was looking forward to getting this deck. And this is also a marked deck, but not for the whole deck, only for the value. So if I can just show you guys an example, this is a 3. This is a 5. Okay, hang on a second. It's a weird marking system to read. This is a 3. Okay, boom, we got it. So again, you can't tell the suit, but you can tell the value. So that can be handy in some different magic tricks. And the cards themselves, if you look at the back design, they are all chess pieces, which is super cool. And the 2 jokers here are ravens on a chess piece. Again, Daniel Madison likes to involve ravens in his decks. And the red cards have been recolored to this metallic gold. The whole back design is metallic, so this is a very, very beautiful deck of cards. It has a little bit of a shine to it, and then the way the deck handles, it's crushed, so the cards just handle absolutely amazingly in the hand. So definitely recommend picking up a deck of the Knights playing cards. And with that, guys, that is my deck collection. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot more decks than I did last year, so we had a lot to cover. And I'm sorry if it felt kind of rushed. I don't have a whole lot of storage on my camera here, so I didn't try to rush it, but at the same time, I tried to, you know, get along quickly. At the same time, just trying to get as much details of the deck just try to give you guys as much details about the decks as possible. Just trying to keep a quick pace at the same time, because I am limited on storage. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, all that stuff. This took a long time to make, and it's going to take a long time to edit for sure. So definitely recommend you guys, you know, subscribe down below. It would definitely help me out. And we're trying to get to 200 subscribers before the end of February, so if we could do that, that'd be awesome. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.